Hello, everybody. How are we? How is everybody? How are you on this fine, beautiful September sunny day? It's absolutely just amazing, and I want to talk today about some stuff just really that's going on. Because it's the world we live in today is just so fascinating. It's fascinating to such an extent that the more and more you kind of get involved with what's going on outside of you, the more you get distracted from what your true purpose is. I'm just inviting some people. The more you get distracted from what your true purpose is, and then the more you start to think, well, is it a ploy to do that in the first place, to detract you from your purpose? And what is your purpose in all of this? And these are all the questions that come up. And, I'm no different to anybody else. I know I'm on my own path. I'm, a particular path or part in my own journey, but it doesn't make me any different to anybody else that is in this world at this present moment in time. And we have various people in different consciousness levels that are dealing with different aspects or perceptions of what they see in the world right now. And I'm no different to what, I'm exactly the same. I have my own perceptions of what I'm seeing in the world right now. And what's totally fascinating is how certain thoughts and consciousness, for want of a better way of putting it, how they're coming together to form these tribes of individuals that are then seeing the world in the same view, in the same way. And I've entitled this live, Tune Into You. And I'll get to the point of why I've entitled it that when I stop inviting people, which I'm probably going to stop right this moment now and get on with what I want to talk about. So I'm talking about, so hello if you've joined me, hi. I'm talking about tuning into you, but also there's this aspect and this concept of, these consciousness, these people coming together in a joint consciousness, in a joint belief, in a joint view and perception of what the world is to them. And we are seeing it. We are seeing it really strong. We are seeing it with the protests. We are seeing it with the protests around COVID, around vaccines, around the mask wearing, around the paedophilia rings. We're seeing it in the protests with Black Lives Matter. And we are seeing it all the time at the moment. And it's people coming together with the same belief. But how do you get that belief in the first place? Because if you wasn't aware of all these things that were going on, how do you then get that belief to believe that, that the world is being run by these people in power and authority that are doing some stuff that's just pure evilness? How do you get to that belief? Well, I watched this programme the other day on Netflix. I know, I did, called The Social Dilemma, and wow, what an eye-opener one that was. And this is the thing, you see, there's all this information out there. There's all this information that we're being bombarded with, and it is so easily accessible. It's so easily accessible that you can literally turn your phone on and you can receive information through your WhatsApps, through your messages, through your emails. You can receive information in the way of updates on news. You can turn the TV on, you'll get updates on all sorts of stuff and information bombarded at you. And the more you start to see and recognise the same thing and start to see other people talking more about the things that you're seeing, the more you start to kind of like get yourself into this collective consciousness of what is going on in the world, and the more you start to see the world in this type of perspective. And it's a really strange phenomenon, really, when you think about it. But back to this thing, The Social Dilemma on Netflix. Basically, if you watch it, it's a really interesting concept, and it was the people that have built the Googles, the Gmail, the early inventors of Facebook, and all of that stuff, talking about how absolutely wonderful and fantastic it is that we have technology the way that we have it, and that we can literally just click a button and get an answer to a question that we are looking for, or what we're seeking. But on the flip side of that, what you have is these algorithms that have been built into all of these social media platforms that actually track and trace every single thing that you are doing, and then start to show you information that it thinks you want to see and hear based on your activity. Now, we all know, don't we, that you'll mention something somewhere, and then all of a sudden you'll see advertisements for a particular thing come up on your newsfeed. We know this, we've seen it. But the thing is what this program was saying, and you must watch it, get your own view on it, but what it was saying was this: that we are already being run by artificial intelligence, because the artificial intelligence behind the social media phenomenon is what is driving our behaviour. It's that's driving our behaviour. And the information that's being presented to us is what is driving our behaviour. They are predicting human behaviour based on these algorithms, and the predictions they are using to then change behaviour, human behaviour, with these algorithms. Now, I found that, first of all, quite alarming, and then secondly, absolutely fascinating, in so much as people are worried about, the Bill Gates of this world that allegedly want to inject us with a microchip and have us run by 5G. That's one kind of artificial intelligence, isn't it? But no one's really looking at the social media concept. Now, one of the other things that came out of all of this is that because the artificial intelligence that is running all of this media, this social media, it has no concept of what's true and what's fake. There is no concept of what's true and what's fake, and that's why all these fact checkers are out now, allegedly. That's why they're out. It's nothing to do with a conspiracy that they're trying to shut everything down, where all the conspiracy theories are concerned, but it's more to do with the fact that the artificial intelligence behind Google, behind Facebook, the algorithms that are building their own intelligence on the human race, have no concept of what is right and what is wrong, and what is fact and what is true and what is false. So therefore, if you think about it, how do we know as a human being what really is true? How do we know? How do we know? Because we're being told in one respect that the conspiracy theorists, and they're growing in numbers, by the way, I mean, they're growing in large numbers, protesting against COVID, against the government, against a democracy that's not even a democracy. We're being dictated to. You've got scientists that are saying things that are different to what the government are telling you, as regards to COVID. We know the figures are wrong. And it's all a sense of confusion. It's all a sense of confusion. But how do we know that actually these people sitting in government are telling us the truth or not telling us the truth? It's got to the point where we don't know anymore. We actually don't know anymore. And how do we know whether the conspiracy theorists are actually just conspiracy theorists or whether they have the truth and they really do know the truth? We just don't know anymore. We just don't know. How do we know that the Black Lives Matter movement is truly run by Soros, who is a white billionaire and who's pulling the agenda and pulling the strings and using it to his own advantage to confuse the population? How do we know that is true? We don't. We don't know what is true anymore. We absolutely don't know what is true anymore. And if you do know what is true, it will be something that is true to you. So and it's a fact. That is a fact. That is something that you cannot actually come away from, because we don't know anymore. Weapons of mass destruction. The government insisted. They had reports and data and everything that, there was weapons of mass destruction and we must go to war to stop it. It then transpired that there is, and there was never any weapons of mass destruction. So how do we know what is really true? So there's 2 points to this. And the first one is when I said about tuning into you. Because if you take away every piece of noise that is going on outside of you, if you take away every piece of noise that is going on outside of you and sit with yourself, that is when you'll know who you are. And that is when you'll tune into you to really form your own belief on what is going on out there. But the second point of it is, do we need to be getting so involved in all these political agendas that we lose sight of who we are and our own direction and our own focus and our own purpose? I don't think we should. I don't think we should. I personally don't think that getting involved in every single political agenda is going to help you as an individual have a fulfilled life while you're here on this planet. I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. Because what I am feeling and what I am seeing and the people that come to me for therapies are feeling is anxiety. Anxiety of the unknown, confusion, because they've got a cognitive dissonance going on with who they are and what they're feeling based on these external stimuli. And it's that external stimuli that is actually upsetting your own energy balance within you. So why get involved in the political agenda? Isn't it just best to have the awareness of what's going on around you so you can make an informed decision of how you're going to live your life? And if you are a conspiracy theorist and you want to go marching and that's your truth, be sure that's your truth. And I'm not saying what is true and what is not true, because even I don't know anymore. Even I have got to the point where I don't know any more than anybody else what is true and what is not true. All I know to be true is my own reality in front of me. The only truth I have for me and the only truth that you can have for you is what is in your life right now, your current reality. Your current reality. And that current reality is based on your belief system. And it's based on your perception of you and your perception of the world. And that's what will be in your current reality. It's that. And if you don't like your current reality, because sometimes your current reality can be so upsetting, it can be so upsetting that you try and shy away from it. And you don't accept it to be what it is. But when you get to that point, that's where you have to then distinguish between what is your truth and what is an external stimulus. Because if it's the external stimulus that's upsetting your current reality, it's upsetting your energy balance and it's upsetting your cognitive process, then you have a choice as to whether you continue having that external stimulus as part of your current reality, or you dismiss it. And that's when you choose what political agenda that you're going to follow or not going to follow. And that's the important part, is you don't, just because this stuff goes on in the world, it doesn't make it not true, but it doesn't have to be part of your life. It doesn't have to be how you live your life. It doesn't have to be that way, because you choose. You always have a choice. And to get that choice, you have to tune in with yourself. And tuning in with yourself, firstly, will give you the power to actually distinguish between whether it's your own belief system that is causing you the cognitive dissonance and you need to change it, or whether it's this external stimulus that is rocking your balance and harmony, and you need to just get rid of that, so it doesn't enter into your current reality anymore. And I'm not saying you wrap yourself up in some kind of bubble so that you don't ever feel an external stimulus, because that would be quite a boring place to be in, so much as how would you grow? You wouldn't grow. You wouldn't be able to grow. So getting in tune with yourself should be a daily practice for everybody, especially now, even more so now, because of everything that is going on in the world, the uncertainty, the fear that's coming back. I can feel the fear coming back because there's talk of lockdown. You know, getting in tune with yourself to really dig deep into that solar plexus. Find your power so that you can live your life based on that truth only. You know, because we're in for a rocky road. And if you think about everything that's going on all this external stimulus, and this fact that they're, you know, even down to the social media is trying to, or is, well, it's not even trying to, it's doing it. It's actually dictating how you behave and changing your behaviour. Once you have that awareness, you do something about it. You can do something about it. So I'm going to be doing a meditation just to bring people, you know, back into centre. And I'm going to be doing that later on today. If you want to join me, I will set up a private group. Just PM me and I can put you in the group. And this is going to literally be a meditation that is going to allow you to really reset, to take that time to sit in the moment, to be with yourself, you know, and really just kind of like take the noise out of your head, take the noise out of your energy, take it out of your periphery, and tune in. Just tune in to you. So if you want to join me, let me know, PM me or put a comment in, and I'll pick it up a bit later. And I'm going to be doing it at 7 o'clock this evening. So, and I'll put something in the comment about that too. But on that note, I hope you have a really good day. Come and join me later on for the meditation. Let's get tuning in. Let's get tuning into who we are as individuals. Let's get tuning into us in our human experience, in this human body of ours, and really start to, you know, connect back in with our own power, so that we can collectively, you know, start that collective consciousness about, you know, we choose our behaviour. So on that note, take care, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.